resume
No,
here.
no,
I can-
no, no, no. Okay. So, from seeing all those movie musicals, I used to dance around on the street, and I would get caught all the time. God, it was embarrassing. I was always pretending to be Sid Charisse. Always. Which I really don't understand because I always wanted to be an actor. I mean, I really wanted to perform. Once, my cousin said to me, "You'll never be an actor." I knew she was telling me this because I was such a sissy. I was terribly effeminate. I always knew I was gay. But that didn't bother me. What bothered me was I didn't know how to be a boy. So one day I look at myself in the mirror and I say, "You're 14 years old and you're a faggot. What are you going to do with your life?" Well, by that time, I was in Cardinal Hayes High School. There were 3,000 boys there. I had no protection anymore. No homeroom where I could be charming and joke with the tough guys so they fight my battles for me, like when I went to small schools. I liked school, but my grades, they got so bad. I mean, even if I knew answers to questions, I wouldn't raise my hand because I was too afraid they would laugh at me. They'd even whistle at me in the halls. God, it was awful. It was awful. So finally, I go down to the principal's office and I say, "I'm a homosexual." Well, it was a Catholic high school. And at the age of 15, you just didn't say that. So he said, "Would you like to see a psychologist?" And I did. And he said, "Well, I think you're very well adjusted for your age, and I think you should quit school." So I did. But I really didn't want to. I couldn't take it anymore. See, when I quit school, what I was trying to do was figure out who I was and how to be a man. You know, there are a lot of people in this world who don't know how to be men. But since then, I found out that I am one. I was looking for the wrong thing. I was trying to learn to be butch. Anyway, well, then I started hanging around 72nd Street, just meeting all these really strange people. I was just trying to make friends that were like me so that I'd understand what it was that I was. Well, then someone told me they were looking for male dancers for the Jewel Box Review, you know, the drag show. So I go down to the audition. And after all of these years of pretending I was Sid Charisse, I had this fabulous extension. I could turn anything for my first audition. So I go in and they say to me, "You're too short to be a boy. Would you like to be a pony?" And I say, "What's that?" They say, "A girl." Well, what do I have to do? "Show us your legs." "Oh, but I have hair on my legs." "That's okay, come upstairs." So they take me upstairs and they hike up my dungarees and put on a pair of nylon stockings and high heels. Ooh, it was freaky. Oh God, it was incredible. So I go back downstairs and they say, "You have wonderful legs." And I say, "Really? Terrific." Oh gosh, it's so strange thinking about all of this. It was a whole lifetime ago. I was just past 16. Anyway, then there was this thing of me trying to hide it from my parents. Gosh, now that was something because I had to buy all this stuff like shoes to rehearse in, earrings, makeup, and I would hide it all, and my mother would find it. And when she did, I told her that there was this girl in the show who didn't want her mother to know what she was doing, so I was holding all this stuff for her. She believed me. Well, I was finally in show business. It was the asshole of show business, but it was a job. I mean, nothing to brag about. I had friends. But after a while, it just became so demeaning. I mean, nobody at the Jewel Box had any dignity anymore. Most of them were ashamed of themselves and considered themselves freaks. I don't know. I think it was the lack of dignity that got to me, so I left. I muddled around for a bit. I worked as an office boy, a waiter, but without an education, you just can't get a good job. So when the Jewel Box called and asked if I'd come back, I went. Well, we were working the Apollo Theater on 125th Street, doing 4 shows a day with a movie. Oh, it was so tacky. The show was going to Chicago, and my parents wanted to say goodbye, and they were going to bring my luggage to the theater after the show. We were doing this Oriental number, and I looked like Anna May Wong. I mean, I had these 2 great big chrysanthemums on either side of my head and this huge headdress with golden balls just hanging all over it. We were going on for the finale, and just as I start down the stairs, who should I see standing right there by the stage door? My parents. I mean, they got there too early. I freaked. I didn't know what to do. So I thought to myself, I know. I'll just walk. I'll walk quickly past them like all the others, and they'll never even recognize me. So I take a deep breath, and I start down the stairs, and just as I passed my mother, I heard her say, "Oh my God." Well, I died. But what could I do? What could I do? I had to go on for the finale, so I just kept going. After the show, I go back to the dressing room, and after I had finished dressing and taking my makeup off, I go back downstairs. And there they were, just standing in the middle of all these. All they said to me was, "Please write. Make sure you eat and take care of yourself." And right before my parents left, my father, he turned to the producer and he said, "Take care of my son." Well, that was the first time he ever called me that.